Hi everyone, today we'll be discussing about structs in Golang. So we'll be discussing these topics during this video course. So what we'll do now, let me create a main function to just check. I will do this hello world. Alright, let's run. Go run in auto. Hello all. Awesome. Now what we'll do, we'll create a struct. So to create a struct, it has to be outside of function. You say what is the type of you say it's a type and what is the name of the struct. Movie is the name of the struct I want to create, and then a keyword struct, and then curly braces. Inside a struct, you need to define what are the fields it will have. So you can consider it as properties or attributes of any objects. Let's say in case of movie, attributes can be name, basically name of the movie. What is the name of the movie? It's a string type. And year of release, we can use camel case. Year of release 2020. Okay, we'll say it's integer. To be specific, we don't have a negative value, right? You can give it as un and any specific bytes. In our case 16-bit will work, so I'll give 16-bit. And then is it a pan Indian movie? Boolean, right? So this is how you declare or how you create a struct. Now what we'll do, we'll create an instance of this struct with var keyword. Say var, I want to create a instance called m of type movie. Okay, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to print m. Let's see. So we get this output. I'll explain what is this output. This is called zero values of individual fields. So to see it in action, we'll see plus v, and then we'll change it to printf. If you see, name is an empty string and year is 0 and pan India movie. These are the default values for name. For a string, it would be empty string, and year it would be 0, and for boolean it would be false by default. Okay, that is called zero values of any struct. Now we'll talk about initializing a struct. Now we have declared and we have created instance. Now we'll initialize this with some values. Okay, we can initialize like this. Let's say you want to give the name to the movie field. Push by it is push year of release 2021, and is it a pan Indian movie? False. Okay, and we will try to print it. So it's updated, right? The name is Pushpa, and so this is how you declare and initialize struct. Now what we'll do, we'll try to access individual fields and we try to update individual fields of this struct. So what I can do now is let me update. I can update using an accessor called m dot. What is the field I want to update? I want to update year of release to 2022. Okay, now if update and run, it'll see it has taken effect and it is giving that as 2022. Okay, and if you want to get specific field, you can also do this. You can access like this. Let's say I want to get is it a pan Indian movie or not? Okay. Mm, Is it a pan Indian movie? Is it a pan Indian movie? It's not. False. Right? That is how you actually work with individual fields of a struct. Now what we'll do, so there is a shortened operator just to initialize and assign a values. That is like this attribute. This basically initialize assigns a value to it. Let me print this again. So it gives use the same value. Right? Pushpa 2021 false. So now we'll talk about something called anonymous struct. There are cases where you might have to create a struct without any name. So if you want to create a struct without name, you can create it as an anonymous struct. How you can create anonymous struct? Let's say I want to create a anonymous struct. I'll say it's a struct, and it will have hero and director. Okay, there are a couple of fields I added. Also, I can add values to this fields using this hero, Allu, director, Sukumar. Right now, if I try to print this data, now you can see a lone struct, and this struct don't have any name. You just can actually create it one off, and you can use this variable like this variable to traverse through it. Now we'll talk about another concept called pointers in struct. Okay, let's see what happens. You know that Pushpa is a pan movie. You want to update it, and for that you want to do it in another function. Let's say you create function saying update movie details. Okay, this is a function. It takes the movie. In our case, movie is movie, and it won't return anything. So m dot, is it a pan Indian movie? You want to set it to true. Yes, it is a pan Indian movie, and you want to call this function right before you want to pass m and run. So what happens if you see Pushpa 2021 false? It's still not reflected as it's still not reflected as true, because here whatever the m which you are passing to this function, what it is doing, it is taking the copy of this struct and creating a new struct here locally. Instead, if you want to send a this struct itself, you want to update this struct itself, you have to send it as a pointer. For that, you can do this syntax, and the function has to accept the pointers. Right now, if I run this, it will update it to true. Okay, this is called pointers to a struct. Okay, now let's say if you don't want to have anything like is it year of release, you just want it to be you don't want to name anything that particular key, you can do that as well. You can just call that as, basically it takes that the same name. Okay, right now future it gives you the same, but the keys will be different. Now what we'll do is we'll talk about, I'll revert this change. better to put as this format. Now what we'll do is we'll create a nested struct inside a struct. Okay, we'll create a new type called cast, basically cast of movie struct, and we'll say hero of a type string, heroine, it's a string again, director, string again. Okay, I want to include this inside this movie, so I'll put cast. And what is the type it has having? Type as cast. And if I try to run it now, got an empty value because we haven't initialized this properly. We can say that I want to add a cast, and cast can be done this way. Here, hero, Allu Arjun, heroine, Rashmika Mandana, and then director Sukumar. Right. Now if you write it, the program gives us the exact values, right? So that is how you can basically now let's say if you want to get the director name, you can do this way, println and m dot, you have to give cast dot director, but you can actually promote this fields, like saying you want to get the values when you say m dot director itself. That you can do it with you don't have to define it twice, you just define it once. So this is an anonymous field. Now if you see, right, it will get with this value also, this value also. Okay, right, I'll get director Sukumar. Now we'll talk about a concept called exported fields. So if you see, right, this is a concept general to the Go itself. If you want to send this variables or structs outside of main function, the first letter need to be capital. Okay, so let me do that. Now it works as fine, but let's say we want to format as JSON. Okay, we'll put in a output. For now, let's say we don't have any error. JSON dot Marshall will indent as well. So this is a function which will take the struct and it will create as a JSON. So what is the struct we are going to take? Yum we are going to take, and we are going to indent it with space. Now we'll try to print the so it's going to return out in a bit of slice, then I'll convert it to alright. So let me point out. I'm just checking. So if you see the error, undeclared name, so this has to be declared, so we are trying to assign. Now if you see, it is empty because if you see hero, heroine, none of them are exported. If you make them uppercase, then only they will be visible by the external functions. Okay, you have to change it some other place here. Now, so this is what exported as a variable object, right? And let's say you want to export all of them. So what I can do, I'll update the first character, right? So all of this need to be changed. Right, now you get all of this information in a nice JSON, but you don't want in this way. Okay, so what you can do is if you want this way, you can do that. You can name it this. This is something. Team details. That's it. And you might have to change it somewhere else. Right? And also, you want to let's say you were having an API and it is expecting small letter as name. So you can do that using something called tags, struct tags, metadata basically. Here say type is JSON and what is the name you want to be in the JSON name. So what this will result is, now if you see, name is changed to name. Now anyone can refer with that name. Let's see if we can change team details to what? It is changed to team underscore details, right? As simple as that. Okay, these are called exported fields and struct metadata. I hope you got basic idea of what structs are and how to use them. There are advanced concepts. You can have with functions inside a struct. You can have interfaces inside a struct as a field, so it's possible. Yeah, you can compare structs. So probably I might save that for some other day. Thanks.